the child, right? That's what I'm assuming we are all here for. Sometimes we want to set the child's behavior, right? If that is your requirement, then maybe then you are in the wrong place. Because I don't think we are really going to talk about, or that's something that we would ever like to talk about how to, right, I'm also recording on the computer as backup. So yeah, so I was saying that's not really something that we would like to do in terms of wanting to set the child right. At least that's not what we ever try to do. But yeah, we try to understand the child. So I'm assuming you're there with that frame of mind to understand the child or the child's behavior. Yeah. Okay, let's get going. So first, I want to start with a small poll, right? Just 1 moment. I have just one question with a simple 3 choice. I hope you can see the poll. The question on the poll, are you able to see? Somebody just confirmed to me that you're able to see the poll, or maybe you can start responding. Just one question with 3 choices, and yeah, you'll have to choose which one you usually do. So don't be in a hurry to see what is the preferred one, but no, not the preferred one, but the one you usually choose or you usually respond from. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the for people to do the poll. Obviously, the 3 choices are fairly simple. What I think is right. Do I respond from that frame of mind, or I respond from what people, society, family, whatever I think is right, or do I respond from when I see a child's behavior, that what is child thinking? You can even think of it this way, that maybe let's say okay, I'll make it a little spicier in a little while. Let's not hurry with that. Let's just let the poll happen. So it's interesting. About 25 of you have responded, and almost okay. Most people are saying either they're saying what I think is right, or they're saying what child is thinking. So that's interesting. I would say if when a child behaves in a certain way, whether you like it or not is not the point. And if you are responding from what child is thinking, then you really don't need this webinar. Meaning, in a way, I'm not saying you to leave. I'm just saying you don't need it. That's very interesting that 44% people think that they respond from what the child is thinking. 46 actually. You can. I hope you can see the results. 46% feel that what the child is thinking, they respond from that. 43 from what I think is right, and about 11%. Okay, that's okay. Cool. So I'm assuming I'm in the group which many of them are thinking what is the child thinking rather than what am I thinking. Okay. So let's start. So also, my idea of this webinar is obviously, as I said, not to really fix anything. So we aren't really talking about any tools, techniques, methods. If that is what you're looking for, again, I don't think even Aarohi ever talks about any tools, techniques. So we never talk about that. So again, you are in the wrong place. But hang on, maybe you will get. So what we really talk about is something very, very simple and fundamental, and possibly that is far more important than anything else. Yeah. So let's start. I want to play a small video which was actually used for the poster that I was sent across. I'm assuming most of you saw the poster. So let's just watch this. Right. So there were about 20 odd people other than this child in the yellow t-shirt there. And you saw what was happening. So after seeing this video, what thoughts are coming to your mind? Whatever, just type it in the chat window right now. Anything that is coming to your mind. Let's see where we are. Just a quick response. Yeah. Please don't say what you are seeing, as in, yes, we're seeing the torch, but more about the child's behavior. I meant that way. What is coming to your mind about the child's behavior, not about... Engrossed, child is bored, not interested, trying to explore the flashlights. What they must be feeling. So I'm assuming when you're saying what they must be feeling, you're talking about the child, not the other people sitting in that hall.
Just about the child. I just joined here, so...
Sure. Experiment. Yeah. Okay, experimenting with light. Child is using torchlight. Interested in light, using light, right? Immersed. Okay, so I'm assuming you're also seeing all the chat messages. Please do that. I know in phones you have to keep switching between the chat window and the slide window. So I'll prompt you when to look at the slide and when to look at the chat. So right now, I can also read it for you. So don't bother if you don't want to keep changing on your device. He's exploring. So just think about it. Let's assume in this video, I unfortunately or fortunately don't have it in this video, but let's assume in this video, after some time, another child comes and that child asks for the torch and this child slaps that another child. Don't respond right now. Just think about it. Would your response now change, or would it still be the same, that he is exploring and he's excited, he's engrossed in his old world, he's playing, he's looking for stars, and he's interested in light, and he's experimenting, and so on. Right? Will it change? I'm just reading out all. Will it change or will it remain the same? Yeah. So think about it as you write. Yes, it will change. Why did it change? If he's exploring, even that is exploring. If he is looking for stars, even there he's looking for stars. No. I'm just seeing the previous responses. I'm just wondering, and please don't respond to me right now. Just think about it. Why would it change? Why would your thought process change? Just be aware. Don't share right now. Hang on. I will invite you. Don't worry. I just want this just tickling you. So just enjoy the tickling. If it is tickling you, if it is not tickling you, that's also okay. So just the warm up. So don't worry. Okay, so I like this playing around, and I hope you're okay with me a little playing around with this thought process of ours. We're not talking about the child. So not even a minute back, we were saying, we were all nice and cool about, okay, he's playing, experimenting, flashing around, looking for stars, and now suddenly the things have changed, and just wondering, why would it need to change? Or rather, let's put it this way. What if it were to not change? What if it were to stay it is? It is another behavior. Where there was X behavior, now there is Y behavior, but finally it is just a behavior, a big deal. Why do I need to change the way I look at it? Or wait. Did I come into the second one? In the first one, maybe the hero was the child. And maybe in the second one, the hero is my thinking. Yeah, this is not right, this is not appropriate, there are better ways to do it, blah, blah, blah. All of those. So now suddenly the child is no more the hero. My thinking, my right or wrong becomes the hero. You see the yeah, you see the interesting change? If at all that is happening to you. I'm not saying it's happening to everybody. I'm just to warm up. Okay. So I want to little talk about something very, very simple. That have you ever thought of it this way? So that the child's behavior. So I'm just making a statement first, and let's see how is your response. The child's statement, the child's behavior is the only data or window that we have into the child. There is no other data, no other window, no other information that we have. The only information we have, or the data we have, or a way we have, is the child's behavior. That's the only one. Behavior could be what the child is doing, what the child is saying, how the child is doing something, including how the child is talking, and so on and so forth. But that is the only way or the only window we have into the child's world. There is no other window. I don't know if you've thought about it this way. If you have thought about it, to share how you look at this. If you're thinking about it now, you can obviously share now. What is coming to your mind when I'm saying, I'm claiming almost, I'm almost saying, hey, we cannot know what the child is thinking. We cannot know what the child is feeling, what the child is dreaming, what the child's beliefs are, what the child's fantasies are, what the child's insecurities, fears are. No, we can't. The only thing that we have is the child's behavior. That's the only window we have. On that basis, we may conclude something. If the child says, I'm scared of lizards, we are concluding that the child is scared of lizards. Maybe the child is not. Maybe the child is repeating somebody else's sentence. Maybe the child is scared of something else and he's using this. Who knows? But whatever we are doing on the basis of child's behavior, which includes obviously talking, actions, running, jumping, whatever, face expressions, whatever is the behavior. That's the only window we have into the child's world. Yeah, let me pause. Any thoughts about this whole thought of only window that we have? Nothing else. We have no other scanner or Bluetooth connection into the child's mind.
Ratnesh, would behavior be the same as child saying something explicitly?
Obviously, that's a behavior. No? Somebody saying something is a behavior. Why not? Is there something else to it? It's a behavior.
It could be thought also.
No.
It may not be connected to behavior.
Pardon?
It may not be connected to the behavior. It could be a thought.
What could be a thought?
What child says.
Yeah.
What you express.
See, thought and behavior are different.
Yes. I am not saying it thought and behavior. I'm saying the only thing that we have access to is the behavior. We don't have access to the thoughts.
Yeah, but
including talking.
What the kid says, it may not be the behavior. That's what I'm saying.
It is a behavior. What else it is?
What is the child is saying? That's what. It could be a thought.
Wait. Just now you are saying something, right? And I'm saying something. But I'm thinking 100 other things. I'm not able to, will I be able to say it? And I'll use a certain set of words and a certain annotation and a certain body language. And all of that is talking. All of that is expression. But that is not the thought. That is my behavior. On whatever I say, that's the choice of words, is still my behavior. On that basis, you are thinking, I know the thought. But it's still an assumption. Just because somebody says something.
Also, right? No, it may not be behavior also.
What else it is? It's a behavior. It's an action. The action is of talking. Or
the action
writing.
Of talking. That's what, like, see, I little bit, digressing over here also.
No, please
When-
don't
when
digress. Stay with me. Stay with me.
Mhm.
When you're talking, now you're talking with me
Yes,
or to
that's
us.
because of
Isn't
my
that a
thought.
behavior? Yeah.
No,
No.
it's
I'm
because
not.
of my thought.
Wait. Pause. You're going too fast for me. Slow down,
Mhm.
please. Request. Okay. When you are talking right now, is that not your
Right.
action? What is your action right now? To talk.
Yes,
Yeah. That's it. That's what I'm saying. It's an action.
yes,
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. What else is the behavior? It's whatever your action is, that is the behavior. Now you may say it's words, fair enough. Whether you use words for action, whether you use a combination of words and hand movements and nose movement and eye movement for action, whatever you use, it is still a behavior. It's still an action. If you don't like the word behavior, change it with action.
yeah. Action is appropriate rather than behavior, because behavior
Whatever.
is
Exactly. See,
something else, right?
I hope my point is very much clear, because when I use a word, I am meaning
Mhm.
something, which means I am thinking something. So your window is only limited to the words I use.
Mhm.
Are you getting the point? So that's exactly. So whether the child talks or the child does, I am saying that's the only window we have. I'm calling it behavior. Stay with me. It doesn't matter. It's a semantics. How does it matter, this word or that word? So child's action or behavior is the only window we have into the child's world. There is no other window that we have.
What I do is like when, for example, if my child is hitting someone or snatching things from someone, then I would say like I would think that okay, he's hurting the other child.
Wait, Malar.
Yeah.
Just respond to my thought first. I'm saying, when you think about it, that the only way I know the child is through the child's behavior. That's my
That's right.
only access.
Yeah, that is
What does that make you think? Or what is this statement doing to you? If at
yeah.
all it is doing to you something.
I'm not trying to understand what the child is actually why he's behaving. It's just that I'm
Okay,
seeing.
wait. You're going much ahead. You are onto analysis, right?
Okay.
You are analyzing, is this right, wrong, or whatever, or
Okay.
why the child is doing. Why is an analysis question, right?
Yeah.
But before we go on to that why and the analysis and right, wrong judgment, I'm still with just this thought, just this realization. And which is why I'm asking, have you ever thought about it? That the
No.
only way that I know my child is based on what I see and hear.
Yeah.
Is what the child's action are. See, hear, touch, meaning obviously the senses, but that's the behavior, that's the action.
That's right. Not every time we get to think, but yeah, very rarely we get to think of that. Like,
Yeah, but what does that mean? What is it doing to you right now? This realization, I don't know.
yeah,
To me, that this was a big realization.
yeah,
That, oh my goodness, the only way in which I know the child is is the behavior and how I am receiving it.
yeah, that's right.
That's the only way I know the child or
Yeah,
understand the child, or whatever words you want to use.
yes, that's right.
So Ritesh, why only child? That will be applicable to anything, anybody. right?
Yes, but today's topic is we are parents here and
Okay.
children winning. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. Venkatesh is saying, I do not understand what he's thinking based on just seeing his behavior. But that's the only window you have, Venkatesh. There is no other way. Is there any other way that you can understand the child or know the child? There is only one window we have into the child, and that's the child's behavior. And I don't know, to me, it's like suddenly, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how you take it, but to me, when I look at it this way, I said, oh my goodness, suddenly this behavior becomes so important. So it's like a prasadam. If somebody gives me a prasadam, I would like, my hands are like this, give me, because I want to revere it, because I want to, this is my only window, man. This is the only way I can understand the child. Now, what do I do with it? Do I start analyzing the behavior, or do I start doing all of that? But before that, do I even revere it? Just the behavior. The fact that I'm receiving a behavior. Unfortunately, we don't have a whatever spectrogram or a scanner or whatever else you would like to have, to somehow
I
get
feel
to
like
know what the child is
choking.
thinking,
I
feeling.
feel like choking because like how did I miss out this big thing?
That's all we have. Yes, Shivani, her actions not only tell you about her need. No, no, no. You have to infer from there her actions, right? You have to conclude, and for all, at least I know me, a lot of times my inferences are extremely wrong, or totally wrong. Wrong in the sense that that was not what the child was thinking, wanting, needing, feeling, whatever, believing, and so on. But unfortunately, I have nothing else. This is my only window. So do I want to treasure this window? Do I want to revere this window? Do I want to say, wow, this is my only window. Wow. Now let me hold it with little more sturdiness or whatever, or hold it at least, not jump on with different things. Kanu Singh won this. I don't know what it will do. Let's. I still don't know there. Um, but I'm saying, well, in terms of its results, whether it will simplify our relationships, I don't know. But what it does to me is, it just makes me pause. It makes me pause because I say, aha, there is data coming. There is information coming. Finally, I'm getting a little sample of what the child is thinking, because our minds think some 100 things, but we don't say all the 100 things. We don't even do all the things. Sometimes I feel like slapping him, but I don't start slapping people, right? But I feel like that. If you could have a scanner into my brain, my goodness, you'll run away. You'll run away from everybody, because we just can't hold every thought that the other person is thinking. We are hardly able to hold all the thoughts that we are able to think. So, in a way, in a way, you know, here is a window to little understand somebody. So suddenly the child's behavior, if I put it this way, to me is not about right, wrong, good, bad, whatever, suitable, non-suitable. It's about the window that we have into the child. And certainly I want to be more caring for this window, more, okay, not maybe caring, sorry, caring is the wrong word, more connecting to this window. No, not even connecting, more there with this window. I want to see. Yeah, more attentive, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. You choose your words. I mean, sometimes we struggle with these words. I guess all of us do, including children. Any thoughts so far? Actually, we've just talked about one thing.
I get your point, Ratnesh. We Yeah, but we as parents generally have the baggage of the child's previous behavior, and we try to look through that window as well. Uh, I mean, it is not, I get your point that we have to look, I mean, we may have to look at it more objectively through that particular behavior, but we have the baggage of the past behavior or other children, or, and we always try to filter.
I think, yeah, yeah, yeah. We do quite lots of things. Let's. I'm with you totally, Vinayak. Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm not sure. Are we jumping to the next step, or is
I
this
don't
what
know.
you're looking for? Or
No, I'm not looking for anything.
Okay.
I am just sharing a thought
Right.
with you all.
Okay.
I am not looking at something so fundamental, but that's
Right.
the only way for me to know somebody based on what they do. What are their actions? What are their behavior? Kanak, don't bother raising hand. Just come on mic and speak, please.
Hi, Ratnesh, after so long.
My pleasure.
Hi. Oh, Vihan is saying hi to you. so he misses you all. So we'll reconnect soon.
Sure.
So yeah, Ratnesh, I just had to add to it that our reaction to children behavior comes from our own experience as a child. So it's not exactly about child. Our reaction actually.
Wait.
Yeah.
You're going too much ahead. I'm still with the first station. All right. You've gone much ahead. Wait. We're not talking about how we are reacting. We're not even talking about analyzing. We're just still there. Hey, realizing, we're just holding on with this one thought that this is my only window. Sorry, it may seem very funny why I'm just repeating the same thing. I don't know why it is such a big thing for me, but it's a big thing for me. And I just wanted to share it as a big thing that, this realization. I mean, what I do with it, what I analyze, how I add up these windows, and what my other experiences tell me, and so on and so forth is fine. But
if we enjoy it, if we enjoy it,
Okay, go ahead.
So if we enjoy it, that means that kind of behavior was accepted in our family when we were kids.
Wait, pause. So again, you are going to your reactions now to it: enjoyment, not enjoyment, happiness, unhappiness, tension, no tension. I'm not yet there. You're going too fast again. I'm on a real slow train.
All right.
Now I'm saying that will come. Obviously, that will come, but where is it coming from? Am I there? It is not about whether I enjoy it or not, but it is the only one thing I have. Whether it's. Am I there with it? First of all, Sujay.
Yeah, so you also mentioned that it's kind of the only data point that we really have, right? That's what you were saying.
No, the only way of data, not meaning, at this moment, that is the data point that I have. Okay, obviously the next behavior will be the next data point, and the next behavior will be the next data point. But the only source of data is the child's behavior.
Okay, so the only source of data, right, is the child's behavior, is what you are saying. And which is why you are calling this as the only window. That's you are saying this because any other thing to read into anybody's mind is not possible. So we can just say that their words, their action, their reactions is what we interpret as their behavior. So that's how you are concluding as this is the. Okay, I just wanted to understand it, and that's why I'm just
sure.
Got it.
With you. Yeah. And to me, as I keep using this word, to me it brings a certain reverence of this availability of this window. That since this is my only window, let me be little, let's say, sensitive to it, or connected to it, or aware of it or attentive to it or revere it. That's where I'm coming from. Right? Because of its value, oh, this is it. Okay, so yeah, let me move ahead. Let me add one more dimension to it. Okay. Till now we were saying this is the only window. Okay. Now I'm saying not only it is the only window, whatever behavior the child is doing at this moment is the best choice that the child had. Yeah, listen to me again. Whatever behavior the child is doing right now, doing could be again in form of saying or action or whatever, or inaction even inaction is a doing. Whatever behavior the child is doing right now is the best choice the child has at the moment of doing, whenever the child did that. So if it's doing right now, that's the best choice the child has. Now you may say, no, there are better choices. I'm not saying in the world there are better choices. In the world, there could be 100 million more choices. But to the child, whatever choices were there in the child's mind, out of those choices, this is the best choice. Let's put it this way. Let's say if you have 3 choices, A, B, C, let's say, and if you think B is the best choice, will you choose A or will you choose C? No, whichever is the best choice, you will choose that. At that moment you think you have 3 choices and B is the best choice, you will act on that. And that's how I act, at least I think so. And I think that's how everybody acts. So the child is choosing the best choice available to the child. Available to the child in his or her mind, not in our mind and not in the textbooks and not in anywhere else, but in the child's mind at that moment. That's the best window. What do you say? It's the best choice. So whatever. Now, it's not just so whatever behavior is the best behavior the child could think of at that moment.
Is it the best choice or just a choice?
It's the best choice. If you have 2 choices, A and B, and A is inferior and B is superior, which one will you choose for yourself? Obviously B.
Situation.
No. For that situation, there are 2 choices you have. So there's no depending on the situation. We are saying there is a situation and there are 2 choices. Whichever, if it's raining outside, now let's say 2 choices come to your mind. I can take an umbrella or let me not go out. Let's say these 2 choices come to your mind at that moment. Yeah.
No.
Whatever you think is the best, you will choose. I'm not saying.
In that
You should think as a child here because we're thinking as per the child.
No. It's true for everyone. You can think as yourself. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. But
at that moment.
Obviously, I will constantly use the word child. You can please extrapolate to anyone, anywhere. Because we're talking about children and understanding children. So if you have 2 choices, 3 choices, 4 choices, whatever choices you have at that moment, whichever you think is the best choice, you will exercise that choice out of those choices, whatever ranking you have of them. Yeah, sorry, somebody was saying something.
Yeah, so the only window is understood. Now you are saying that this is the best window. So that's where the best window, if we go with this, if we just take it like this is the best window, then perhaps the question that comes to my mind is, so if that is so, then there would not be any learning, to say that perhaps this could have been done or other thing could have been done.
No, that is for future. Right now, these were the 3 choices. Tomorrow, I can have 4 choices and I can choose D instead of B.
Mm-hmm.
So learning, forget learning right now.
Okay.
We are not talking about learning today. We're talking about behavior. And in that behavior, we are saying at that moment when I am behaving, whichever way I am behaving is the best choice according to me, available to me.
Ratnesh,
Yeah, even that could be a like really that is just okay.
So, Ratnesh, in that
Boliye.
case, everybody, we adults, everybody on this earth, we all behave in any situation, any particular time in the best possible manner. That is
Best, no,
true.
no. You're using a
Yeah.
separate word. Best possible manner. No, manner is like
Ah.
like you have all the manners in the world. No. Manner.
Array means
I am
best
saying
choice we take. Yeah.
best choice available to me at that moment.
Yeah.
Suppose
So
you
we
say
do
something.
it that way.
Suppose
Yeah.
you say something and I get very angry. And like two things are coming to my mind. Either punch you in the nose or walk out of the room. No, maybe I one day punch your nose and another day I maybe walk out of the room or whatever I choose. But at that moment, I'm only thinking of two choices and this is the best choice out of it. Walk out of the room. I did
Correct.
not think of a third choice, which could be buy you an ice cream. Was that a
True.
possibility? But I did
Yes.
not think of it because to me, they were only these two choices. And out of that, I picked up the best one. Best
Correct. So,
according to me, not to the world.
yeah, but in that case, whatever choice the child takes or anybody, even I take at that very moment, is there a chance of discussion in that? Means if there is something,
We will come to that. आप लोग बहुत fast train में हो यार. I'm in a very slow train. I'm still in the window. आप तो आगे चले गए. Right. That's why I said a disclaimer at the beginning. Some of you would join early that this isn't about changing the child or changing anybody or changing even ourselves. This particular webinar is not about that. It's about understanding behavior. Yeah, understanding the child's behavior. Understanding. That's it. That's where we are. I can't share more because I don't know more. I don't know what else to share. So I'm sharing what I can to understand the behavior. And one way to understand the behavior is that the child is operating from the best choice available to the child at that moment in his or her mind. Yeah, Shyam.
It could be impulsive as well, right? Like most of the times I feel under such situations.
Okay, so now redefine impulsive as maybe the child had only one choice.
Yeah,
Still the best choice.
Yeah, something like your muscle memory, right? Like a ball comes at you and
no. Let's yes. But don't look at it from that way. Again, we are bringing in more terms. Isn't that the only choice at that moment?
Yeah, exactly. Right. What I meant
and it's
was
still
like,
the best choice.
Yeah, what I meant was like there is not really a time. There is not really time to think that I have two choices. I just go with my impulse and
fair enough, Shyam. Yeah. It could be that you have no time. In a case, let's say a ball is thrown or a stone is thrown at you. It could be that you get few minutes or few seconds. It could be few minutes. It could be few days. It could be few weeks, months. Sometimes we brood over something. What should I do? What should I do? Oh God, my, brother-in-law's, sister-in-law's, mother's sister-in-law did this. What do I do? What do I do? We keep brooding over our choices. We even ask our neighbors, friends, relatives, what should I do? What should I do? So sometimes it can be years. Sometimes are you getting me?
Yes.
So it isn't about time.
Right.
It's about the number of choices. Whatever I'm choosing. In this case, I'm even choosing to just keep choosing. I keep thinking of my choices. I'm not even doing anything. Suppose somebody said something to me and I'm like, oh God, what do I do with this person? And I'm just thinking, what are my choices? Yeah. And really,
with us adults, I do agree, but I think with children it's more like impulsive, right? Like
no, I don't agree with that.
Do they think that I have these choices?
No, nobody's thinking like that. We are not doing meta thinking. At any moment, we are not thinking that, oh, I have three choices and I hereby choose the best choice. No one does like that. Not even you and me. It's not like that. But it's just the way the mind works. It's just the way we understand our own thinking. That at any point we have some choices. It could be one choice or it could be multiple choices. And the point is still there. The point is that we will choose whichever we think at that moment is the best choice. or rather, if you want me to put it a little detached way, whichever my brain thinks is the best way, best choice. But when we think about it, that this is the best choice the child has, now we are looking at behavior and the window in a different way. So how are all of you feeling? Apart from thinking that that's the only window, we now are saying, as per the child, that's the best window or the best behavior or the best choice that the child had. Now, what does that do to you? I want to hear this. Let's forget everything else. What is this thought doing to you? Even if you may not be in agreement or that's not, you don't have to agree with anything that I say. I'm only here to share my thoughts. Obviously, I could be all muddled up, which possibly I am. But since you are here, let's consider it at least for today's time, and then we'll see what do we do with it later.
Hi Ratnesh, this is Bhavna.
Yeah, Bhavna.
The one question my brain is asking is why? Why is this his best choice right now? What happened? Why?
Why is this best choice? When you make choices, why is something a best choice to you? It depends on your thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm. If my son is crying, like afternoon only, he was we were planning to go out, and he was crying, and like if it is his best window, I would ask why. Like,
and I'm asking you, which again you're going too fast for me, is
okay.
Before you ask why, did you tell yourself, Bhavna, this is the best window, his best choice? Did you say like that? Meaning you didn't, I know that. I'm just saying, what would happen if I hold this window with reverence and say, oh, this is his best choice. This is what he can think of at this moment. The best choice he could think of was to cry. And suddenly, I don't know for you, for me, the crying becomes totally different. First of all, that's the only data for me to understand. So there is no hurry to do anything. Let me understand him. Isn't it? We talked about the only window. The second thing is that's his best choice also. So that is further. Let me understand. Let me be with it. This is the best choice. Then why do I need to bring in all my baggages? Somebody said I have experiences. Somebody said I have more data points. Yes. You have lots of amazing processing power, memory power, everything. All of us are amazingly intelligent. But the point is, it's not about us. It's his best choice.
Yeah. But yeah, I understand.
Pranav is saying he's thinking, I will acknowledge it, that this is his best choice. That's interesting.
Yeah, and also Ratnesh, I feel that this also relieves you of a lot of pressure that you all the time carry when you're around the children. You know, the question of why drops automatically, the why goes off completely. And you want to be into that moment with more resourceful state of mind as a parent around the child. This is how I feel this could be a change.
Yeah. Malar, acknowledgement is not important. You know what is important? Where is that acknowledgement coming from? Is it coming from like a tool method, like a mechanical thing to do, or is it coming from a realization, hey, let me receive? Receive what? Receive the child, the child's best choice, the child's behavior, because that's the only window, and the child's best choice, which is what he's exercising or she's exercising. So then acknowledgement, even though I may not verbally acknowledge it, is I would say automatic. Or if automatic is not a nice word, I would say is built in. Yeah, does that make sense? It's built in into this.
Unconsciously, it should happen when you realize.
No. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not a behavior of ours. It is just it is part of the package kind of a thing. It's part of it. It's there. The moment I look at it as best window, it's part of it. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I don't like the word naturally, so I skip it. But anyway, Yeah, naturally. Okay. Now you may say, should I add more choices to him or her, and should I do that? Well, all of that will happen, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do that or you should do that. I mean, that's between you and the child. Uh, but sometimes I become curious, and I say, if this is the best choice, then there must be other choices. Have I even understood that? So the behavior is not just telling me what the child is behaving, but the behavior is also telling me that this is the best choice. So there might be more choices which the child has rejected. Let me go and see. Let me ask maybe, or let me wait maybe to see what are the other choices. Isn't that? See, if I tell you, this is the best whatever best water bottle, okay, in the market, automatically people will ask, but what are the other choices? Am I there with you? If this water bottle, which is on my video, is the best water bottle, what are the other water bottles? Which ones are you rejecting? I want to know this. But with the child's one, we are not asking them. So which are the other behaviors you rejected? No. We are not asking. We are soon coming up with our, my set of arsenal of choices. You better listen to my choices. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense. Please respond.
Yeah, Ratnesh, it is making sense to me. At least what you said about like a only window, and then that being the only window, that's the best window which is available over there. Yeah.
And interestingly, at least with me, it happens. I can only share my experiences. Is that when I think of it as the best window, I don't have to now start thinking about this good behavior, bad behavior, right behavior, wrong behavior, because anyway we are operating from the best behavior in a way. Yes, the choices spectrum will get enlarged in many different ways. If that is our concern, it will happen. What's the hurry? Because the moment I'm going there, then I'm no more with the window. I am in my own mind. I'm with my own mind. I'm not with the window. Okay. So if you're okay, shall I move ahead? Or if you have a thought or a question, please go ahead. You can ask now and you can ask later also. Absolutely no issue. So the question that I ask myself mostly, but sometimes others also, that how do I want to operate? Do I want to operate from a limited perspective or from a limitless perspective? Myself as a parent, or as a parent to the child, do I need to come up with a limited construct of okay, these are the options or those are the options, or do I want to come from a limitless perspective? No, I know it's a rhetorical question. If I ask you, please type in the chat. I know what your answer is. You know what the answer is. But I just wanted to start from there and say, hey, if we want to be limitless, sorry, go ahead, please.
So what is like I'm trying to understand here, what is limited, what like how what do you mean exactly by that? I'm not clear on that, limited and limitless, especially with respect to the previous two discussions.
What was the previous two discussions about?
The best window and the only window that we have.
Yeah. So do we want limited window or do we want limitless windows? I guess the visual also shows that which one we want. Do we want limited windows or do we want limitless windows? I mean, I know the answer. I'm not asking it as a question. I'm more stating it as a statement or as a wish. Yeah. So now that we So interestingly, so again, if I go back to the previous one, if you say this is the best one, and then there are more choices possibly in the child's mind, and if I want to operate from more windows, first I would possibly access that, ask that, or in some way wait for that, for me to get what are the other windows the child has. And isn't that amazing that the child has so many windows or thoughts or choices in his or her mind? Because that will add to my limitlessness. See, if I want to be limitless, I need to keep kind of borrowing, buying from different sources so that it kind of becomes limitless. Meaning I myself can generate, but more importantly, right? So the whole point comes to, now that I know this is the only window and the best window or the best choice, the whole sum total of this whole understanding to me is that it all depends on how I look at it. Sorry, I'm just looking at some message in the chat. Kumar is saying, thought it is, but it is maybe limited perception in other perspective. Yeah, unless we keep collecting it, unless we keep
So,
this in
Abhilash,
mind. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Pranav.
Yeah, I was just son's perspective or say parent's perspective. Hello. Am I
Sorry?
audible?
Yeah, Pranav.
Yeah. So we are talking about limited and limitless from the parents.
Parent. We're talking about our wish. Do we want to work with limit or limitless?
In terms of understanding or
whatever. Perceptions, understanding, thoughts, options, behaviors, whatever. You want to be in the limit.
So
private
it means like we would want to have.
Yeah, that's why I said it's a wish. Do you want to be limitless or do you want to be limited? I know it's a very rhetorical question, but we tend to become very private limited. Right?
Sir, we wish to think and do it in the limitless perspective, but unknowingly, okay, sometimes we are limited perspective.
Sure.
And in the other point of view, okay, some that kind of perspective will not come into our mind. So we'll treat them with a limited perspective. But we wish to go ahead with limitless, but at the end we ended up with limited perspective.
So Kumar, my view is slightly different. I don't think it is unconscious or whatever. I just think that we are not limitless consciously. We are not asking for the limitlessness. We are happy with our private limited company, right? It is private, it is mine, and it is limited, and I'm happy with it. I'm not asking for it. I'm not demanding it from myself that I want to be limitless. Because the moment we do that, then we get so many ways to look at it. You know, a child is doing something. Let's say the child is, whatever was the last example. Let's say the child hits somebody, or any example that you take. Let's say a teenager, 13-year-old is teasing another 12-year-old, right? How do I look at that? Now, do I look from a private limited perspective, saying that this is this way? So that's my or do I consciously say I want to look at it in a limitless way, many ways. So how I look at it in many ways, and I start thinking, what are the different ways I can look at it? So let's take this example. Let's do this as a small exercise. Let's say a 13-year-old is teasing a 10-year-old or whatever. Let's say. How in many different, let's say, assuming, so please be with me, you may not want it, but let's assume we are all wanting to be limitless in this say, and we are saying, I can see this in many ways. I am limitless, child is limitless, behaviors are limitless. So let's just look at it in many different ways. So let's just, either you can type it in chat or come on the mic. What are the different ways that we can look at it? The simple behavior. Okay, maybe not simple behavior.
Both are.
This behavior, sorry, let me not put that adjective of simple or not simple, but let me just keep it, behavior. Sorry, yeah. Go ahead, please. Somebody was sharing. I heard somebody sharing. Please share. Are you all able to hear me? Are you thinking? Is
Yes,
that
yes.
okay? Okay. I for a moment thought it was suddenly silence. I was a little worried. Pranav, okay, you're thinking of the cause. I'm saying forget the cause. Just look at the behavior itself in different ways. Then we are getting again into the next level of analysis. We're maybe not yet there on that station called analysis. Okay. Malar is saying thinking. Are you saying that the child is thinking? Is that what you are looking at, Malar? If that's the case. Sujay is saying having fun. Okay. So you're looking at you're seeing fun there. Okay, Malar is seeing thinking there. What else? What else can we? How else can we look at it? We're just looking at it right now. We'll kind of analyze the reasons and blah 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 later. Feeling superior. Okay. Okay, feeling superior, bossing around. Yeah, so these are, okay, maybe I should put a constraint. You can't type one in the chat. Type 2, 3 in the chat simultaneously. Say, I can look at this in 3 different ways, or 4 different ways, or 5 different ways. Let's challenge ourselves. Because you want it to be unlimited. I mean, I am assuming you want to be unlimited. I'm not saying I've kind of cornered you into this. Sorry, I'm bullying now. No, it's not. You're still going into what is the reason for this to happen. No. We're just saying this is happening right there. What are you seeing? How do you look at it? Not how do you analyze it? How do you just... So, for example, somebody saw thinking, somebody saw fun, somebody's thinking a command happening or an authority happening. Okay. Somebody's saying randomness happening. Okay, what else? What else? What are the other ways of looking at it? So I'm thinking, engaging, okay. Okay, saying seeking attention. Okay, so we were very subtly and without knowing, kind of unknowingly slipping into the analysis part of it, the reason part of it. He's seeking attention. On that is all our thinking. Yeah. Kumar is saying either authoritative or kidding or teaching lessons or something to do, try out. That's interesting. Sujay is saying having fun, dominance, copying other, jealousy. No purpose at all. Playing around, I would say better. No purpose, some purpose. Yeah, trying to talk, building a relationship. Something. What I see a relationship happening. I see what else I see? So, okay, we'll come to this. Trying to create attention. Okay. Fair enough. Think of more. Can we think of a few more? A friendly, we can think in terms of friendly. So what I'm trying to get at, I hope you're getting that, is that there's so many ways in which we can look at a behavior. So many ways. Any behavior. Anybody's behavior for that matter. And we can also ask, as we already talked about, for the other choices that are there already in their mind. Yeah. So if you start putting that together, we looking at it in different ways, child doing it in different ways, not doing it, child thinking about in multiple ways and then choosing one. If you realize, then the whole thing boils down to many ways, multiple ways of taking it in. And automatically, will that lead to maybe many ways of responding to it?
Ratnesh, even when I'm looking at it from a limitless window, but isn't it my assumptions of things? So I'm making my experience or my understanding, probably my assumptions to it. So it's again from my window only. It's not that we have limited windows, limitless windows.
Come again, it's not that?
What I meant to say was, again, while we are saying we need to look at from limitless, whatever windows, but again, this unlimited option is coming from my thinking. It is from my assumption.
Yeah, because I'm the unlimited guy. Is Pranav unlimited?
Okay, but that may not be the case actually. That's what I'm just trying to.
Why would it not be the case unless you think otherwise about Pranav?
No, I'm saying that would not be the actual, like say somebody saying, like we have 5 different options and looking at the situation, but that situation might not be there from any 5 of what I think.
Sure. Obviously.
Yeah, okay.
See, we are all the time guessing, all the time assuming. If you go back to the first thought of that is our only way to know. Okay, so we didn't talk about it. So good you brought it up here, Pranav. When we say that this is the only way to look at, the only window we have, I hope, I had thought that somebody will share and we will talk about it, but somehow nobody shared and I also didn't really cover that. Maybe I should put a slide for it just for the sake of it, but it's important. Is that we realize that everything, this whole world is working on assumptions, right? We are guessing all the time. If Pranav, I ask you, okay, what would you like to have? And let's say you say, oh, I feel like having gulab jamun right now. I know, bad time to talk about gulab jamuns.
I would have gone for pizza.
Okay, see,
it was wrong.
Yeah. Okay. You say pizza. Okay, good. Okay, so when you say pizza, again, it's an assumption that that's it. That is your choice. Right? That is what you really want. And if I stop at that, or I think that I could go in any direction, I can go in that you're not thinking about health, or you're not thinking about money, or you're not thinking about this, or you're not thinking about that, or I can go on that you are thinking about this and you are thinking about that. Plus, please realize, any which way I receive your pizza, okay, I'm making an assumption. I'm making an assumption that this is it. If, for example, I can say after that, Pranav, are you sure you want pizza, or would you like, instead of pizza, gulab jamun? And for all I know, you may say, gulab jamun is a better choice, yeah. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that I'm always working with assumptions in terms of how I hear you, what I hear you say, what I see you do. Everything is only small data. Obviously, there's so much more in your mind. Maybe you are saying it to make me happy. Maybe you are saying it so that something else is the reason. There can be so many things, right? We say, we do so many things for so many reasons. So at any point of time, in any which way, we can only assume.
So when assuming, are we not limiting the windows?
Precisely, that is why I would like to keep on not getting stuck with one assumption. if somebody says, oh, she's seeking attention, it's such a common thing people say, but only adults say, please, I'm telling you. Okay. So if an adult tells me, oh, he's seeking attention, I say, really? Well, let's look at it in another way. And somebody says, no, he's just wanting to have fun. I said, really? Let's look at it in another way. Now, what I'm trying to say is, by not getting stuck with one assumption, one guess, I'm trying to be more open, more trying to see where things could be. Because one, I don't really know whether what I'm seeing and what I'm concluding is correct. Two, the child may not be able to convey everything that he's thinking, feeling, hoping, wanting, needing through just one behavior. And yeah, I mean, the child is not able to convey. I am not able to think. So let's explore. What's the hurry? What's the hurry to brand it right, wrong, good, bad, this, that? Let's just explore. Let's become limitless. Because that's just more open, more welcoming. And interestingly, sorry, go ahead, Sujay.
I don't know if it's a right question for this thing, but I just try to put it. So if the child's behavior, child's behavior we are saying as the best option, would that not, for him or her, for a child, then what we respond, how is that not a best option either?
It is best option. So now you see if you want more options or you. So that's the second line in my slide, if you see. So when I start seeing it first or receiving it in many different ways, then I also start thinking that, or not even thinking, then many different ways of responding also come to me. So my choice set increases, and then I can see which one is the best. You're absolutely right. Whichever way I respond is also the best, but is my choice set limited? Can I may not end up thinking some 1,900 choices, but if it is 3, can I make it 4, make it 5, make it 6? And that automatically happens when I look at it many different ways. Now, are you seeing the relationship between many ways of looking at it leading to many ways to respond to it? So you have a wider choice set. You will still, whichever you decide is your best choice. Absolutely, I'm with you. So one reason to look at the child's behavior in many different ways is to understand or receive the child more openly. And the other reason to be more limitless or increase our choices is that I get more ways to respond, and then I can choose whichever is best for me at that moment, including shouting, including anything that I do. Absolutely, all choices are best. Depending on whichever you choose is best for you at that moment. You may later on regret. We all regret. That's okay. That's part of our life. If there are choices, there is always a regret. Just like we choose the lane at a toll station, we think this is the best lane in the toll station, but it turns out we regret it later. Oh, that lane is moving faster than I.
Okay, so I'm not the only unlucky one. You are with me.
Absolutely.
So in order to change the way, like many ways to respond to it, like how do we get into practice? Or maybe, yeah, we understand, we realize, but that awareness is not always there. So is it because we haven't understood that very well, or the realization?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I would say that we haven't still spent time thinking about all this. Yes, It's not about some technique. It's not like, you kind of file it 200 times and it becomes smooth and shiny. No, it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
Realize, even if and I will tell you another problem with this smooth and shiny filing kind of approach, is that we still are operating because it's the best choice. So Suji brought out a good point, that because our choice is also the best choice, then we start feeling guilty and regretting less, because we just realize at that time that was my best choice. Big deal. I did it. Let's move ahead. So I'm not hanging on to me being a perfect person, because I am not perfect person. Why? Simply because I have choices, yeah. Because I have choices, how can I be perfect?
Yeah. Yeah, that is little consoling for myself.
So then I'm not in this loop of trying to be the best. I'm only working with more and more choices, sometimes more, sometimes less. Sometimes I do it, sometimes this way, and I behave this way, and I behave that way, and sometimes guilty, sometimes regretting, and that's it. So I'm possibly more, I would say, connected to even myself, meaning in a way, in the same way I'm connected to the chat.
Right. Yeah, so that there comes acceptance in order to understand, or like, okay, I have this option right now. So there comes acceptance also to myself first.
Right, right.
Okay.
Which won't come if you take it as a technique kind of a thing. Oh, I need to be accepting. Come on, Malar, I need to be accepting. Today I will be accepting 33 times. No, it doesn't work, because acceptance, that kind of an acceptance is not acceptance, and it only creates more stress in me. Because now acceptance is the outcome. You see the third line? We're coming to that.
Yeah.
I think you caught on before I could talk about it. Then the outcome is me being a certain shining star, and my child being a certain super shining star, and we all being like super shining stars who do all the right things in the right world. But there are no right things in the right world, because it's all about choices.
That is right. See, whenever I don't know if this happens to everyone, but whenever I attend these sessions with you, like, I feel like it is very painful to change myself, because I try to accept the fact that I'm not right, because I always feel that, okay, I need to be this way, but I'm not able to be that way. So I feel it is very painful to accept the fact. Then one day,
stop attending these
yeah.
webinars.
No, like one time you said, like, I was like, you were quoting to Asawari scenario about the watch, and she was so excited, and you were not that much excited. And then you realize, yeah, she's so excited. So then that point, I realized, okay, everyone faces this situation, and then you realize that and you change. So then I made myself, okay, I also have to go through this process. So yeah, that is helping me.
Yeah, I think Malar was saying the same thing. We have to think this through. There is no, we have to think this through, talk this through, understand this through, about our child, about anybody, as some of you were saying. It's not just about children. So it is up to us. We have to do this. Yeah, especially if you are as old as me, which I hope, you realize it's that many years of a different messaging. So we have to little deconstruct that, for space for a new construction to happen. So the deconstruction needs this thinking through. It cannot be from a technique. It has to be from an understanding. Okay, this way. Okay, so that, okay, that way. And knowing that it is not a translation into becoming somebody perfect. It's just, I am understanding behavior, child's behavior, and maybe as an extension of that, my own behavior. And in some way, as a parent, if I've understood child's behavior, and in that sense, child to some extent, and I've understood in response to that, I've understood myself, I guess I'm home. What else? What more I would like? Not that my behavior has to be according to some book, either which I have written or others have written in my mind, has to be, correct. So let's talk about this outcomes also. So that's also very interesting. So, some of you were talking about the analysis and the judgment part. And I was telling you, I will come to that station. So if let's say you see a child's behavior and you have some analysis, I don't know, some of you were sharing the analysis. Now I've forgotten what you were sharing. Or maybe I didn't allow you to share. But the moment you think of your mind analyzing it, your mind judging it, the analysis and judgment is only happening when there is an outcome in mind. Am I there with you? Our mind analyzes or judges something only when there is an outcome. Does that make sense? Otherwise, why would the mind analyze something? Meaning, the mind doesn't need to analyze when there is no outcome in mind. And which doesn't mean there's anything wrong, right, about having outcomes. No. Again, the problem is not the outcome. The problem is again with one outcome. If I'm only stuck with one outcome, then that will create more issues. Raki saying, can we put it as expectations? Yeah, expectations. Just that in expectations, some people say don't have expectations, which is fine, meaning, but also we can say it this way that can we have different outcomes in mind? Yeah, we keep validating that outcome. We start expecting, validating, praising, coercing, constructing, manipulating, everything, teaching, preaching, that one outcome only. And interestingly, Rakhi, the outcome need not be only mine. The outcome could be child's also. Child has an outcome in mind. Now, but when we have many outcomes in mind, then it's yes, Kirti, force it. When we start thinking of, let's say we realize that we are stuck with one outcome, at least I am stuck without one outcome, then I start playing around with that. What other outcomes I would like in this situation? And then I start thinking of other situations. Suppose I missed a flight. Now, obviously, the outcome was to catch this flight and reach somewhere. Okay. Now that I missed the flight because of, let's say, my behavior or whatever, whosoever's behavior. Now, what else is, what are the other outcomes I can have? Yeah, so we can start thinking that way. So again, it's a question of going back to, do I want to be limited to that outcome only, or I can just remind myself, hey, come on, I'm limitless. Let me allow more options to flow in, more options of outcomes also to flow into me, and surely they will flow in. They can either flow in by itself, or I can ask others, help, man, show me another window, I can ask the child, I can ask my spouse, I can ask the world, I can ask Google maybe, I don't know. Yeah, some thoughts. I hope we are able to put together these thoughts. So anything coming in your mind, any question, anything you'd like to discuss? Not just with respect to this slide. My contention is that in most cases, we are not really with the child's thinking. We are more with what I'm thinking is right, wrong, or what people is thinking right, wrong. Especially when what the child's behavior is not, let's say, as per the map that we have. So let me give an example. Just the other day, a child, while she was holding a glass, and the glass was hot with milk in it, and she wanted to come inside the kitchen to be with her mother. And because there's a kind of a little step, so, and the glass was also hot, so some struggle must have happened. I didn't really notice that, but I noticed that she has spilled, the whole glass is on the doorway, and the whole place is milk all over the floor. So anyway, I don't know what was going in my mind was so many things. I didn't really say these to her, but apart from I said, okay, I will. Let's get some clothes and we'll clean this together. This is what I said to her, and we did together. But what I was thinking in my mind is she feeling ashamed of herself? Is she feeling hurt because that must be very hot, or the glass might be very hot? Is she thinking that milk has gone waste? Is she thinking, now should I do again the whole process of pouring the milk, putting Bonvita or whatever she mixed in it, putting sugar, churning? Is she feeling like, oh God, again the whole thing? What is she thinking? What is she feeling? I wasn't trying to guess. I was just more like comma, multiple choice question kind of thing. I didn't ask her. And this happened just yesterday. No, 2 days back, sorry. And I just kept on thinking. I didn't do anything else while we were both together cleaning. I just kept on thinking. I don't know. I'm not trying to say this anything. I'm just showing. I'm not even sure what she was thinking. I don't have a scanner to tell you what she was thinking. And even if I ask her after a few minutes, what are you thinking? I've kind of missed the bus, because what she's thinking after 2 minutes is different from what she was thinking 2 minutes back, because her mind is super fast. It's lightning fast. It's already tuck, 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 has must have thought about, I God knows, maybe she's thinking of a TV show in which she saw a cartoon or something where this thing happened. God knows what she's thinking. But I was definitely not thinking about to tell her how to carry or what kind of this or what kind of that. No. Why would I think about what I am thinking? How does that matter? Pranav, I don't know how much you like donuts, but I have donuts for you.
Actually, I had this question in mind. Why do we have donuts on this slide?
9 choices. We think donuts is one choice. No, dear, no. Donuts also can have choices.
No, I was just wondering, why do we have donuts on this slide? I was just,
you
brought in the slide. Okay.
I'm telling you the reason why I put donuts. Donuts also have so many choices. We think donuts, we think when the child has said, I want donuts, we think we have understood the child. We haven't. Donuts also come in so many shapes and sizes and colors. Which one you like? I don't know, Pranav. And even you need not be sure. If I ask you which donut, you will say, "Yo, Rama." Now I have to think of I like the sugar coated one also, but I like the sprinkled one also, and I like that saucy one also. Choices. And not that the choice you will take turns out to be the best. You may regret it. I wish I had ordered the chocolate one, not the strawberry one, or the other way around.
Hmm.
Also, I'm trying to show, if you want to ask me, microanalyze my mind. There are 3 rows. The first one shows what I think is right, the first row of donuts. Then I think of the next row as what people think is right, but the child could be totally somewhere else. What he thinks or she thinks is right. Not right, what she is considering. That's why we started. So for some of you, we started with a little poll, which was, okay, let me run that poll. So let me rerun the poll. Okay, let's see if it works like that. Can I rerun a poll? Okay, I think I'm able to rerun the poll, at least not immediately. Maybe in the next meeting I can run that. But the poll was this only. Which one do we operate from? So actually, we don't need the poll. The poll is there on the screen. Where are we operating from? And what would we, so if you're asking me, how do I work this out? So I would say, with what would you like to be? Sorry. Would I like to be with my thinking? Would I like to be with the people's or societal thinking? Or would I like to be with the child's thinking? For now, I may after 5 minutes, after 5 hours, after 5 days, come to what I also think is right, and I may also analyze what people think. But for now, where I want to be. And if I want to be with the child thinking, then let me go back. We'll start with this is the only window. This is the best window. Oh, I'm limitless. Oh, I can look at it many different ways. And this. Does that make sense? So if I'm coming from that perspective that I want to be with the child's thinking, not with the child's behavior, but the thinking or feeling or whatever, meaning thinking is just the word I've chosen from whatever is going on inside the super fast brain, which is processing so many things, then a lot of these things fall into place. Okay, anybody last thought question? We just got 2 minutes to kind of end of this. So I can take one thought or one question. Somebody wants to just share something, not necessarily a question, anything you want to share. And yeah, and while you share that, I'm also just putting up, we have this Jagriti program. Some of you have already been part of it. So typically, these Fireburners, this webinar is done for people who have been part of Jagriti. So it's a kind of a continuing dialogue with people who have done Jagriti, but we open it with others if it benefits anybody else. If you would like to be part of Jagriti program, you're most welcome. We're starting a new batch on Jan 20th, so you can go to the website and register. Yeah, I think that's that much marketing I can do. But yeah, somebody with a closing thought yeah. Anything that's coming to your mind. Not a question also. Oh, we're already at 10:30.
The biggest takeaway for me is we analyze when there is an outcome.
Okay. Kanu is also saying managing ourselves, not the child. Yeah, or maybe understanding ourselves and understanding the child. I would say, why do we want to manage something that looks like a lot of work? So maybe understanding ourselves. So I'm okay. So okay, let me end with a little kind of a joke or a story, whatever you want to call that. Very quickly, this reminded me when you said managing ourselves. This reminded me of the joke. So there's this guy in the supermarket who sees a lady in front with a little girl in the supermarket, and this girl is saying, "Mama, Mama, I want to buy this chocolate." So the mama says, Monica, calm down, calm down. There's only little bit of half the shopping is done. Only half the shopping is left. Monica, calm down. Okay. And then she moves ahead, and then she goes into the next aisle, and the child again says, I want to buy this. Really, I want to buy this. She starts kind of banging on the shopping cart, and the lady again says, Monica, we are almost through. Huh? There's only little shopping left, so don't worry, calm down. Keep peace. And then she's approaching the checkout line, and the child says, Mama, but we haven't bought anything for me. And she's kind of starts crying. And again, the same thing. She keeps saying, Monica, okay, it's only the checkout now. We necessarily need to do the billing. At the billing counter, the child grabs a chocolate from the counter. They keep the chocolates there. And again, the mother says, snatching it back from the child, Monica, calm down, calm down. So this guy is following, this mother, kind of very, very curious. And finally, the mother goes with the cart to the car parking, and this guy follows her and says, says, I just very, very much appreciative of how you were, so much well connected with your daughter, and you kept on saying how you kept on calming your daughter, Monica. So the lady turns and says, sorry, Monica is not my daughter. Monica is my name. so that's like
Nice.
Yeah, so we can do it whichever way it works out for us, right? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Ritesh.
night.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Thanks, Ratnesh.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Good night.
Thank you.